everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoble, and you are on the Lifeboat. And you know what, man? I'm about as unprepared for this show as I've ever been. I got this thing rolling, and it's a rant show. It usually means I'm not in the best mood about something, right? Usually has something to do with that. And today I'm in a bit of a rant, and I forgot to do some kind of basic stuff like turn equipment on. Pretty standard stuff, really, but bear with me, people, while we do this thing YouTube style. I'm a YouTuber. Hit subscribe. Hit that bell for notification. Right? You ready for a rant? Well, you're going to get one, sadly. I wish this rant didn't have to take place. I really wish that this rant didn't have to take place. The reason I'm going to go off about this one is a couple of reasons. Hey, Tara, good to see you. Saguaro Christmas, good to see you. Janet Izzy, what's happening? The Audrey Gore. Hey, Shani. Stella, how are you? Seventh, good to see you. Debbie. Florence. Dennis the Menace, good to see you. Tracy. Oh, squirrel nut zipper. Let me move that phone for you. Sorry about that. Let's see. Get the squirrel cam. Might be able to get that on. Calhoun is working, so we're going to be flying blind. Dad's not very good at this stuff. All right. We'll get it up there in a minute, though. So pain clinic people say, all right, so let me tell you what's happening. I've been with the same doctor outfit here for a very, very long time. In fact, we've talked about the fact that they're cool with people using the Lifeboat as their counseling. They're very happy with what we're doing here at the boat. By the way, thank you very much. No idea who, because of how this system seems to work. But thank you so much. I absolutely love this shirt. I really do. And I dig the colors of it. Like, this is just a really cool shirt. I rock this thing with pride. I love this. Appreciate you. Goosebumps. Good to see you, Lady E. Glad you're here. Dennis and Charlie Murphy. All right. So let's get this thing underway. You know who I go to for my subs. You know the drill, right? I don't want to badmouth this company because they've been freaking amazing, right? They really have. They've been amazing. They've been amazing in so many different ways. Right? Not only are they the people that are writing the prescriptions for my stuff, but the number of people that I have helped get on medical assisted treatment through their service is incredible, right? We're way, way over 100, which is awesome, right? I can't give you an exact, but I bet it's getting closer to, we've got to be closing in on a couple of hundred, right? So we've done a lot with them. And I'm very, very happy with QuickMD, and I have been every time. Now, normally, I go to one of the same doctors every single time. But sometimes, if you're in a pinch, you schedule somebody like the first available. And I got a younger guy, and this dude is in the wrong line of work, man. And it was just, I got treated like a dope fiend for the first time in a really long time. And I forgot what it felt like. And this guy was just, so I'll tell you the story. I said to him, I'm due to re-up. And he said to me, no, you were due to re-up, a month and a half ago. And I said, yes, but I don't take the full script. And he said, well, you need to work with a doctor on that. You just can't start, deciding you're going to take yourself down and not work with us on it. And I went, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Right? I think it would be a great idea to make sure that I work with you guys in any kind of titration that I do with this. Instead of going all willy-nilly and just time to cut back on the amount I'm doing. No, I'm going to work one-on-one with you. He said, that's what we want. I said, I already did. Now, sadly, because of the way your outfit works, I can't get the same doctor on every time. I said, if you're assuming, because the first question he said to me was, so when was the last time you used? I said, am I not in that computer in front of you, bro? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but am I not in that computer in front of you? And they kind of made some changes to the app, meaning you had to go in and hit update and all of that. This dude acted like I had never been there. I will, Lord Kiss Freak. Thank you, my brother. I will check that. You have my word. Young doctors suck. This says Debbie P, and you're right. Lori Hart, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, so he goes, well, so you're obviously taking less than you're taking less than a strip, right? Which is 8 milligrams a day. I said, I'm taking considerably less than a strip. I'm taking considerably less than that. And he goes, well, you're going down too fast. I said, I'm titrating too quickly. He said, yeah. I go, how much did I take it down on the last dose? I'm not trying to be a dick, but how much did I take it down on the last dose? Because you're telling me I'm doing it too fast, but I didn't even tell you how fast I'm doing it. For all you know, I backed off 1 milligram or a half a milligram on the last one. Right? Kelly Gerling, this is what all of them say. That's what they're supposed to say. Right? That's what they're supposed to say. That's what they all say. Hey, the last thing in the world we want to do is start cutting you back. So he said to me today, right? We get to the end and he goes, well, I'm not comfortable giving you the same amount of medication. I said, okay, I'm not too concerned about it. Right? He goes, we're going to be cutting you down to 8 milligrams a day then. I'm taking 2. Why don't you cut me down to 2 milligrams a day? Because here's what's going to happen. He's like, you need to come back next month. I said, so what this has to do with is you guys getting paid every month. I mean, I understand that you want to see me or whatever, but I've talked to every single person I've talked to here. And you're the only one that's ever made me feel like I'm doing something wrong. And he said to me, he goes, are you doing any kind of drug therapy or any kind of, are you going to meetings or anything like that? I said, hey, on your list there, do you see the Lifeboat? He said, yeah, that's approved. I said, I am the Lifeboat. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I am the Lifeboat. And you're in the wrong line of work. I said, I'm not kidding. I don't know whether or not you do this because it's an easy gig or what, but this isn't the kind of medicine you need to be doing, Doc. For real. You're in the wrong line of work because you don't like people who are in recovery. I said, you treated me like a dope fiend from the first time I pick up the phone. I'm not joking you, right? I'm a minute in. And he goes like this. Hold 1 second. Right. And he starts talking and I hear like 5 other voices. And for about 20 seconds, I'm listening to a meeting these people are having. And when the meeting kind of like came to a point where it slowed down a little, he said, I'm sorry, gentlemen, I have one appointment that I have to finish just real quick. Hold on. And then he put all of them on hold. And my first thought is, oh, I'm getting this guy's full attention, right? I'm getting this guy's full attention. That kind of crap smells like a pill mill. Quick MD, tighten your game, man. I brag about you for free. I advertise for your crap for free. Tighten up your game, man. Start looking at it. Now, on the bright side, I did what everybody should do if this happens, right? I do it on a video too, Kelly. He was looking right at me. He was looking right at me. I'm not going to lie, people. I at one point, I may have said something that I wouldn't have allowed someone to say on the Lifeboat. You feel me? Hey, well, there you go. That's exactly what I said. Real scummy kind of summed that up. And that's what I said. I said, are you kidding me, man? What's up with you? I said, you mad at me because I used to do dope or what? Because if that's what it is, man, you're in the wrong line of work. You are in the wrong line of work. You know, when was the last time you 8 years and 7 months ago? Is there no computer in front of you, bro? Or do you just not feel like doing your work? Every other time I've ever gotten a doctor, whether I've dealt with them before or not, they pull it up and they go, hey, how are you? So you're doing 2 films a day, right? How's that going for you? Are you feeling any like a whole standard operating procedure? But he seemed really kind of put out that like the phone kind of did a little hiccup thing. Not me. I promise you him. And he goes, can you get closer to Wi-Fi? And I said, I'm nowhere near Wi-Fi. We're just doing this on the cellular. So maybe it's you. Right? Because I'm not doing a Wi-Fi call, bro. I'm just on my cell phone. So I don't know. Maybe it's you. But yeah, some doctors think that everybody sells any extra meds and nobody knows how to titrate on their own. Well, and here's the thing, right? I can get it. If I'm showing up at day 28 and going, Doc, I'm out, right? But if a guy you're giving a medication to keep him from abusing an opioid doesn't immediately come running back at day 30, maybe the drug's working. Huh? Like maybe this is exactly what's supposed to happen. And maybe every single swinging you-know-what that takes this stuff is supposed to figure out how to come off of it on their own. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't talk to your doctor because I did. I said to him, yo, with all due respect, bro, I've communicated perfectly with every doctor at QuickMD until your jerk ass got me. Right? I haven't had a problem with one doc here until you. I do great communicating. I do great communicating till you. So maybe you just didn't look in there, but I have talked to every single doctor. The first time I said, I'm thinking of coming down, I said, I'm going to knock about a half of a strip off of this. And they went, whoa, no, don't do that. Don't do that. What are you thinking? They said, no, it's way too much, man. And the doc walked me through it, right? Literally walked me through it. How I don't want to see QuickMD go to hell. I don't want to see this become, for real, man. And I reached out to the company. I did. I said, I'm not a big, influencer. I'm not. I'm a little guy. But I have, hundreds of thousands of people have heard me talk about your company. If you would like me to continue to talk about them nicely, maybe you should tighten up your game, right? Or guess what? Maybe I'll find someone else. Because I promise you, they're not the only one. There's a bunch of people doing what they're doing, but I was really impressed with how they did everything they did. Here's the thing. I get it. Do you know how many people out there have been hurt by a junkie? Right? There are people out there that fell in love with one and had the person rob them and steal from them and destroy their credit and cheat and do all of those things. Did you say, do you know who I am? I hope Johnny Scoville is. I'm sorry. Do you know who I am? I'm kind of a big deal. No. Hey, do you watch the YouTube? Huh? Do you watch the YouTube? That's my pickup line, Hey, girlie, do you watch the YouTube? That's my new one. Truly, I didn't go with the. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You literally just made snot come out of my nose. But I'm Tommy from the Lifeboat, buddy. That's what I should have gone with. No, but I did actually when I said to him, "Hey, is the Lifeboat approved for that?" I did say I am the Lifeboat. Yeah, I kind of got a little lippy, but it wasn't. I just said to him that's my channel. The counseling that you guys are allowing people to do that, and be approved as peer counseling. That's my channel. That's me. So I guess I kind of did that, but I didn't say, I'm kind of a big deal or anything like that. But that is classic. Lewis's Nightmare. I'm not sure I ever said hello to you, Lewis's Nightmare. Welcome to the boat. I'm glad that you're here. My favorite author, Lewis Carroll, created a nightmare or two. I did. Well, I tell them all to check out my channel. I do, because we are an approved form, because they want you to go and you have to do meetings or something other than just seeing them. They want you to be involved, and they have approved us, which is, I think, one of the coolest things in the world. And it really made me feel fantastic. When the first doctor said, "Hey, I'm going to recommend you to a lot of my people." And I said, that would be great. And then one of them actually sent me an email and said, my doctor at QuickMD told me to, yeah, you know what, Mary Jones, he is a guy that probably should not be doing what he's doing. And I think that, sadly, that's the case. I have had, by way of full disclosure, I went back, I looked, and then, oh, Lewis Clark, what are you kidding? Why? You changed your name. People, Lewis Clark's been here a long time. 2 years off coke. Congratulations, Lewis. Proud of you, my man. Well done. And glad that you are here. Very cool. Well, that would explain why. So I absolutely welcomed you. Spent plenty of time welcoming you. So you are all part of a big deal, people. You betcha. You're all part of a big deal and getting bigger every day. There we go. There we go. Good evening. Thank you, my friend. I was just saying, they do not tell you at all who sends anything. All right, it's horrible. They don't, there's no, yeah, they make it very, very difficult. But is that a Tommy statue? Yes, yes, that is. Yeah. Nah, he's built a little bit better than me, actually. But hey, Cricket. Good to see you, Cricket. You know something? She says, hi, Captain. Sorry to hear that you're dealing with some crap. Xenu knows that I've experienced a number of doctors like that. And that's why I thought I would make this. Because here's the moral of the story, people. This is the kind of jackass that sends the wrong person, right? This is the kind of jackass that sends the wrong person into a relapse. Feel me? I'm not kidding. And you go, no. Because a guy getting ready to relapse doesn't need any reason at all to relapse. Give me an excuse, right? Give me a freaking excuse. And if I was going to that doctor today and this was my first month or my second month, right? If I was going in there and I had just put in my credit card and the doctor showed up and that's how he treated me, I'll go buy some dope. I promise you. Where I would be is right back to the, here we go again, right? So I'm going to get treated like a stone cold dirtbag wherever I go. At least the dope man says, appreciate you. You know? It would absolutely send the wrong person into a relapse. So I want you all to realize that's the 5%, right? I got no control whatsoever over Dr. Jackwagon. That's 5% that I can't do anything about. Yeah. I can deal with the 95% of how I dealt with him. So was I rude to him? I was. But I wasn't rude to him until he said, what's the name of that pharmacy and what street is it on? Because I need that. I need that called in. So I answered his questions. But when he said, you know, that's going to be ready for you this afternoon, I said, you're in the wrong line of work, Jack. And I'll tell you something. I didn't question his heritage. I didn't. I didn't make it personal. Just said, you're in the wrong line of work. Addicts need to be treated like human beings. I don't feel like you're treating me like one. And I got 8 freaking years of sobriety, right? 8 years and 7 or 8 months I've been off of this crap. Every other doctor, no lie, without fail, has said to me, congratulations, you're still doing well. And they will tell you, I know, guys, there's a ton of you on here that go to Quick MD, and they are fast to say to you, congratulations, man. Good for you. They'll ask you questions like, hey, getting your life back in order? When I told them, hey, I'm moving, I'm not going to be delivering to the same pharmacy anymore. I'm going to a different state. They were a part of this. Like, I see the same people. It sucks that I couldn't get my normal doc this morning because it did set me off. It really did. And I started thinking to myself, I'm the captain of the lifeboat, right? If it set me off, what the hell is it going to do to somebody who's just trying to get clean? Become an advocate for yourself. You have a disease, and your disease does not make you less than. It doesn't even make you less than the doctor, much less than anybody else that's hurting. Feel me? Doesn't make us great people while we're doing it. No one gets a pass for being a jackass while you're on dope. You don't until you're off dope, right? For real. Because people say to me all the time, man, so they just get a pass? Yeah, they do. But I don't give them that pass while they're using. Once they get clean, yeah, I'll start to forget all the crap from before. They've earned that. This is a hell of a fight. It's not easy, right? Every single freaking day, it's harder. Every single day, it's harder. And it pushes some of us farther than using. You're right, Huckleberry. And that's terrifying, isn't it? Isn't it? Thank you, Salat. Appreciate you. 5 more green. Really appreciate you. Oh, Lumen. Oh, Lumen, I'm so sorry. And you hear this, this actually makes sense. I used to have a trusted team of doctors in my pain treatment years. They all walked in 2019. Well, a lot of people walked there was a window where doctors just said, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't treat people, right? I'm not allowed to. They would rather get out of the business than look at someone in pain and say, I'd really love to be able to help you, right? But I'm afraid to treat you. I can give you this much. I can treat your pain so that we get the pain level from a 10 to a 6. Why bother? For real. The idea is to treat pain, right? May it go away, perhaps. I mean, you get it down to a 2 or whatever. I can walk around at a 2. I can walk around at a 3 or a 4, get through life. But at a 6, life sucks. Kelly, yes. Thank you. Right? Everybody deserves respect. I'll tell you what I did. Someone said, did you call manager? Did you call management? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. What I did, I didn't call them. What I did was I reached out to them and said, hi, my name's Tommy. You guys actually recommend my channel as a form of support that you accept among people who come to your, and I recommend you every single day. And after my experience this morning, I'm going to go on and talk about your company. And I'm going to tell people that I still think it's great, but that I'm watching because today wasn't great. You know, today was dog crap. I made it pretty clear. I really did. I made it pretty clear. You know what? Here's the funny thing. Someone just said, let me see if I can find this. Let me see. Here we go. Stephanie says, great comment, by the way. Stephanie says, the DEA has so much to answer for, to say nothing of the jerk doctors who just sold whatever to whoever. Agreed. Now, I went on Surviving the Survivor. And when I was on that show, one of the individuals on that show with me was a DEA officer and one with some juice. This was a guy that he was the real deal. And he's proud of his work. I've come on here and I've talked about it. And I believe he's proud of his work. I don't think he's a bad man. I think he's a good man. I think he's delusional to beat hell, right? Especially if he thinks he made a difference. I'm sorry, but he didn't. And neither did the DEA. I'm sure that he was trying. Doesn't make him a bad person, right? But the problem is so many people believe that things are being done, right? That we keep funding ungodly amounts of money to a drug war we lost. By the way, don't you get lippy, because I'm not blaming this on any party. Right? Plenty to go around, people. Plenty of blame to go around. And I'll tell you something else that I think you might find interesting, right? I'm not worried about the left or the right or the Republicans and the Democrats. I'm not. I'm worried about the alphabet. You feel me? It's the alphabet running this country. Little agencies with letters. They're who's running this country. I promise you. I don't think it makes a crap bit of difference who we stick in that chair. I mean, they get a really nice airplane and they do photo ops, but I think they got about as much juice as Johnny and I do showing up for an appearance. Yeah, for real. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, I don't think there's a whole lot of that going around. We have enough doctors in New Zealand, so they all overworked and underpaid. But you guys see drug ads on the television set, don't you? In New Zealand, you guys see commercials for drugs? That's us and that's you. That's nobody else. Did you know that? Those are the two countries that allow advertisements for drugs to be run on the internet. Shannon Smith, either way, hon. Either way. You could put Google in there too if you want to. But I was referring to the 3-letter agencies. Tons of them. Tons of them. It's where all the money goes. I am vibrating. Watch this. Should we put somebody on the blast? Hey, I'm going to give you a call back because I am live with the entire world watching. Every once in a while it's fun just to put those people on speaker, but then they kind of, don't want anybody to bum out. Opioids do not relieve pain. They are not an anti-inflammatory. They block pain receptors. Your body can't heal because the inflammation is still there, and you don't feel, so you overdo it. Opioids are definitely not anti-inflammatories and are not effective in the long-term treatment of the problem. Do they make pain go away? Absolutely. They're great at making pain go away. But you're right, it doesn't fix anything. It doesn't. And sadly, the laundry list of things that accompany the relief of the pain are really, really bad. Right? I was on it for a really long time. I was a pain management guy. I was a former skier. Yeah, no, I promise you, like Stephanie says, don't tell that to anyone with acute pain. It absolutely will relieve the pain. What it does not do, and she's right, what it doesn't do is attack why you have pain. Inflammation is always the biggest problem. And it is the reason that, with very few exceptions, and I mean very few exceptions, you can't get a pure painkiller. Like if you're in an emergency room, they might inject you with morphine. But if you're getting a pill, it's a rare pill that does not have an anti-inflammatory in it. So if you take a Loratab, you're taking anywhere from, like, they come in 3 strength. You got 5s, 7.5s, and 10s, and those are the milligrams of hydrocodone. But then in there will be acetaminophen, 350 milligrams per pill, or 500 milligrams per pill, depending on what the doctor writes. He could pick a different drug based on what the anti-inflammatory is, but almost all of the painkillers come with an anti-inflammatory with them. You got Vicaprofen, right? That's Vicodin that has ibuprofen instead of acetaminophen. You got Vicodin, which is just the regular one that has the acetaminophen in it, but all of the low rent painkillers have an anti-inflammatory in them. The top of the class do not have them. And why don't they? Because the creators of Roxy's and the other top of the food chain drugs knew exactly what they were doing. No abuse deterrent features at all. Come on. And Dope Nose is right. They knew what they were doing. They knew you could smoke it. They knew you could shoot it. They knew that the entire contin release system was just a coating on the outside of the pill. Right? So what they did was give you 80 milligrams of a drug that normally comes in 5 milligram pills. Wow. Well, if you cut the outside off, that's quite a buzz. I promise. I did my body weight in them. Right? All right. They were a buzz. Doctors don't want you to heal. Boy, there's a lot of truth to that. Because there's not much money in curing things, but there's a crap load of money in treating them. I suffer terrible shoulder pain. My doctor keeps telling me. The book with the physio, I told her several times, you know what? It's hard. It's very, very difficult. Doctors don't want to heal. They just want to give you medications because they make money from the pharmaceutical companies. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. The other thing is, I don't think they're really trained to do other things, right? I mean, what they're trained for, and I know this because I spend a lot of time in hospitals. And when they come around in the morning, right, in the very early mornings, that's the house routine, right, where the doc comes in with all the youngsters who are ready to be doctors. And they'll say, we got Scoville here. And here's what happened last night. And they tell you a little bit about my coming in. And they say, what do you think? And they don't go, well, it sounds like this, this, and this. Everybody in the room's got an opinion on what drug they should give me. Feel me? That's what they're looking for. Laura Lee Smith says the green stores treat pain a lot better. Blaze up. For some people, Laura, I believe that's the truth. I think that cannabis does work beautifully as a painkiller for some people. I have seen that it does not work that way for everybody. So I would say that, as in every case, work with some people in a plan. If you're a pain specialist, if you're seeking out pain management, then you need a team. Guess what? You're fixing your dome, right? You get off of these drugs, you decide that you're not going to take anything, you're going to need a team too. I do. I got a team. Shannon Smith says, doesn't work for me. Marijuana was never a pain reliever for me. I loved smoking the crap, but it never did anything to help me with pain. There have been only a few things ever that actually treated pain very well for me. And you know what's funny? People will argue this, and it's great because dope fiends especially will argue this. But you know what works beautifully for me is Toradol. And as an addict, oh boy, I hated it. When they even brought up the word, I started to hear that. I'd get up, pull the gown off, and walk out. You're going to give me Toradol? Thanks. I'm gone. Doctor said, hang in there. I'm not giving you anything else. Try Tylenol. Gallbladder surgery sucks. They gave you Tylenol for gallbladder surgery. Pull the rubber band, right? The bowstring, and it snaps back. It doesn't stop. It goes in the opposite direction every single time, right? And that's what we just did. We went from everybody that comes through the door can take a backpack full of OxyContin home to, I don't care if your leg is hanging off, I'm going to write you a prescription for 3 Loratab, right? And no refills. So now what we've got is a whole generation of people that are going to the street and buying what? Perk 30s that aren't real. They're trying to buy Percocet 30s, right? Painkillers, but they're not real. They're buying fent. History of addiction. Damn right, Dennis. So guess what's about to happen? Our government is saying, everybody's running to the streets. Now, apparently they forgot when they did this the previous 2 times. But you know what we're doing right now? We're making it way easier for doctors to write scripts for pain pills, which is great. But you know what's going to happen, right? We're just going to keep doing this until we stop doing this. So maybe the question should be, what the hell do we have to do to get off this roller coaster? As a country and as a world, what do we have to do to get this done so that we don't keep snapping the string back and forth? Pill mills, nobody gets anything. Pill mills, nobody gets anything. Overdoses, let the dealers make the, what the deuce are we doing here? Toradol is king hell anti-inflammatory, but burns when it's injected. Boy, you're right. I'm not going to lie to you. I've always kind of been a fan of of that burn. Thomas K says, I recently stayed at a hotel and the hallway smelled like burnt rubber / popcorn. The burnt rubber you didn't get me, but when you said popcorn, I guess that's what fent smells like when it's being smoked. If you had asked me what fentanyl smells like when it burns, I would have said popcorn. And you know what's insane? It kind of tastes that way too. For real. Tastes like burnt popcorn. It's always tasted like that to me. Not heroin, fent, but always tasted like that. In England, they don't push meds because it costs the NHS money. And the pen pushers who run the trusts are taking the money for themselves. Meanwhile, nurses struggle to feed their families. Holy crap. You know what? It just doesn't matter where, does it? We can't get it right. We can't. And one of the reasons is, straight up, one of the reasons is we start off broken so badly that there's nowhere to go. Right? For real. I'll give you an example. This is my new theory. I've been taking a lot of protein lately. I mean, a lot. I'm not taking don't get weird and start. What does meth smell like? Cat pee. Sadly, it smells like cat pee. That's exactly what that crap smells like to me is cat pee. Jill Anderson, I've heard other people say things very similar to this, that THC gives somebody the ability to visualize the pain, kind of like wavelength or whatever, and that for that reason that it works beautifully treating pain. Kelly Smith, good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. Sorry you have to keep changing. It happens a lot sometimes with this place. So I've been doing all kinds of protein, and not enough that you really got to get that you got to worry that but I've been doing an awful lot of protein, right? And it has done for me, right? It literally just I have had a very, very effective. I don't get hungry. I don't feel hunger in any way. It's an absolutely beautiful thing. It really is. But when I started tripping out on this and started doing some research, right? The food that we eat no longer has any protein in it. I mean, it really doesn't. It has absolutely zero protein in it. And I am of the firm belief that our body continues to eat all of this crap because we're looking for it. What does heroin smell like? Vinegar. Honestly, has a very vinegary kind of acidic smell. Capsaicin, I was just talking about this, Dennis. Capsaicin does wonders for muscle pain, right? Shannon Smith, I am still eating that protein from the convention. And I feel an awful lot healthier. I do. But I also don't feel, I don't get the hunger cramps. I don't get any kind of hunger, anything. I don't. And I think that's kind of I think that's an interesting thing. I feel like the food that we buy these days is garbage. And I think that when you start with building blocks that are trash, it's kind of a bad way to go. Right? It sucks that we have to start getting supplements for everything. But you know what's crazy? And you can look this up really easily. I did it. You can do it for laughs. Try looking up the all of the nutritional value of a carrot from 1966 and a carrot from 2023. Look it up. You would, if you looked at them side by side on a piece of paper, you'd have no clue that they were the same thing. We have leached everything out of the food because of how we grow things in this country, right? There's nothing left in them. So we eat in hopes of getting what we need out of it. And when we don't, we eat more. And when we don't, we eat more. And when we don't, we eat more. And guess what? We get overweight. It's one of the reasons why the entire world is overweight. Libby, the kind of protein I eat, this is not going to make anybody very happy, but what I eat is not on the market. It is a freeze-dried protein product, right? Looks like cereal. And each of these little balls is about 1 gram. And it's absolutely remarkable. It's a little bag about this big. You rip it open, you throw it back. It's 30 grams of protein, and it's over. It takes, honestly, like we've timed it out, it takes 8 seconds. Throw one of these things in your mouth, the entire thing, chew it, swallow it, 8 seconds, 30 grams of protein. And do that a couple of times a day, and it starts to change how you feel dramatically. Dramatically. So currently that's what I'm playing with, but it is not yet. Once this is for sale, I promise you I will tell you where they're selling it. Tara, I will be able to tell you all of that. How they're doing it. You could have, with this company, you have a choice. You can go full meat protein, you can go no meat protein, or you can go a combination thereof. Do I have any side effects for propranolol? No, none. J9. Never had a problem with this at all. Zero side effects. Now, I know it's different for every single person, but yeah. Sorry, hold on. Pain meds are a joke. Kathleen, I am sorry to hear this. So, ICAP, I'm trying, sweet Jesus, I'm listening. Can't connect because I could share some stories that span 25 years. I was crushed by a 67 Merc. Yeah, like 40 tons of steel. Times 4 pain meds are a joke. Don't help. very often that is the case. For a lot of people, that simply is the case, right? Hold on one second. So if pain meds bring you absolutely no relief, right? Uh, if, tetrahydrocannabinol is tried and does nothing, because if pain medication does nothing for you, Kathleen, then I would start trying everything else, because living in pain sucks. Yeah. Really bad. So what we're hoping here is that you can get to a part of life where at least we get to a place that you can have some quality of life. Now, in experience in the past with people who get to these pain levels, nerve blocks are a big thing. Have you discussed this with the doctor? Because a nerve has to get pissed for you to feel pain in theory, right? So a lot of times killing those nerves off or blocking those nerves off. There's also some other stuff that they're doing with, but all of this is contingent upon having a team of people that you're talking to all of the time. And unfortunately, and I'm not going to put you on the spot, but it has been my experience that most people who in your situation tapped out a while ago. In other words, you don't have a team of people who are helping you. Most people give up. And because of that, they stop going. And I was cruised 4 times, which is wean. They stopped counting. Finally gave a great pain doc, and he got angry. He can't give me what he does. Work some level. I've had every treatment you can imagine. I am sorry to hear that. Nerve blocks in one area stopped working. It is really, it absolutely becomes a marathon of trying to figure out what it is that is going to work. And I'd love to tell you, here, do this. It doesn't work that way. And even if I could, right? And even if I could, it would be different for you than it would be for the next guy. Johnny Scoville has 2 metal rods that are about as fat around as my finger running down the length of both sides of his spine. Right? They took out one vertebrae completely and then put a cadaver vertebrae in. Johnny's a mess. He's a mess. Right? And he's had the block surgeries. He's had, I don't know how many back and neck surgeries. And there's not much hope for Johnny just getting over it. And he can't take the pain meds. And as insane as it sounds, my brother lives a great quality of life because he burns the ever-loving crap out of himself until his body releases tons of endorphins. And he does this without drugs. God bless him. God bless him. You have had radio frequency ablation in my cervical spine. It worked for about a year and the nerves grew back. I've heard people say things like that. But this is, sadly, the reality for a lot of people, not only on the lifeboat and in this country, but around the world. Well, thoughts and prayers for you, for sure, right? For sure. But there are, if you've tried everything, then God bless you. We'll just keep praying for you. But I've never met anybody that tried everything. Normally on a daily basis, there's about 3 things that are coming out today that weren't here yesterday, right? I don't know how you feel about hot peppers. And if you think I'm being funny, like Johnny gets wasted on peppers. And it's for about 10 or 15 minutes. We've got it on, you can see it on film 100 times on the channel, but you'll watch him. It's obvious. He gets wasted. How? Well, the body sends down tons of endorphins. That's what getting high is, right? It's your brain releasing chemicals. And peppers makes that happen. And then what happens is the buzz wears off, right? That buzz lasts him about 10 minutes. The buzz wears off, but the chemicals don't go away. And Johnny's got pain treatment without having to kiss the sacklers anywhere and without withdrawal. Shannon Smith, how hot would the peppers have to be? Well, just hot enough to push yourself. Now, for you, that might be a jalapeno. We just have to get to the point where it's so hot that your brain goes, ooh, I need to send some of this, right? So, what are my thoughts on psychedelic healing? I know that here's the deal. I am a firm believer that psilocybe cubensis does amazing things in the minds of people who are willing to use it correctly. I am a firm believer that it is an excellent treatment. I don't advocate it for the use of others. Go ahead and figure it out for you. But for me, every single time I do it, I'm a better person when I'm done. But I do it a little different than the average person does it. I do it very much like it is done in the therapy, right? There's a 2-week build-up process where you're talking about exactly what you're trying to get out of it, right? And for me, it's not about going to a rock concert and it's not about seeing tracers. There's something I'm going into this that I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. And I'm not looking to trip for 2 days, right? There's a very controlled amount of this that I take, but I was not a believer in this. Like so many other things, I did a ton of trip drugs growing up. I've tried everything, but I did not see the benefit in this until I started the Lifeboat, and I started to work with a lot of people who were coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq, and some of the people that have just seen hell. And boy, the psychedelic stuff really seems to do, and not just mushrooms, but ecstasy and ketamine, MDMA and ketamine, and all of the other stuff that they're using. This I talked about this in a couple of shows in the past. This was a fascinating area of research until until it got hijacked. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing that ever happened to this kind of research was, the Timothy Leary kind of acid experience of the 60s with, in the early 70s, that whole, drop out, tune in, and sadly, you're right. This is exactly, by the way, what I'm doing. 2 grams of protein per kilo. That's exactly what I'm doing. Right. So basically a gram a pound. So that's currently what I'm doing. And before anybody yells at me, you know what? I feel good, really good. Are there rebound symptoms with psychedelics? One of the things that I am a huge fan about with psychedelics is that you are going to, here's the thing with psychedelics, you're not going to be able to continually do them day after day because the body does actually have to rebuild up all of the chemicals that it releases out. So people don't tend to abuse it. Sorry, hold on one second. So grateful that you answered this. It saved my life. Wow, truly, as a 40-year-old with complex post-traumatic stress disorder who recently found out I'm autistic and ADHD, and it's working for you. I am so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. But that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? This isn't what a doctor's going to say to you, right? Did the first doctor you went to say, you know what you need? Some mushrooms. No. But eventually you start thinking outside the box. Where the hell are we? This is for sleep. It's a THC product, something that I take so that I can go to sleep at night. And it is absolutely outside of the normal that I would be using. This is not something that I'm going to get normally from the doctors that, and I tried every single thing that these doctors, had written. I'm talking about tons of different prescriptions for really weird stuff that leave you with all kinds of strange side effects. Where you wake up in the morning and start feeling like, you've had something done to your brain throughout the evening, hung over, right? What I wanted was to be able to go to sleep, not have a friggin' nightmare and wake up without one. And nothing worked. This did. And do you know why I fought it for as long as I did? Do you know why I had nightmares literally for about a year and a half that I didn't have to? Because I didn't want to come here and say, I'm doing weed. Okay? That I'm taking drugs at night because everybody here is going to, but now I'm to the point where guess what, people? This is how much I care about how anyone else views my sobriety. Right here. You get that? That's how much I care. I got to answer to me. Right? And here's the contest, the way I look at it. I got to get off of this planet without doing heroin again. That's my goal. Right? That's my contest. I'm winning. I'm at 8 years and 8 months or something like that. Pretty freaking happy with that. So I'm going to keep doing the things that I do. Right? I'm absolutely going to keep doing the things that I do. And I am going to keep advocating for the addict. For some of you, that means that you might be taking THC for pain or for whatever. For some of you, it means you can't get anywhere near that crap for the rest of your life because you're not going to be able to handle any of those things. Doesn't make you a bad person. Means that you got a disease, and that happens to be a part of it. I'm not going to judge you one way or the other. Ain't got anything to do with me. Thank you, Matrix Rabbit. My sobriety is my business. And yours is yours. Yeah? So don't let anybody give you any crap. And if you happen to be a really young doctor who's watching this, because I told him I was going to do a show about him, yeah, maybe get a different line of work, right? Or just wait. Huh? Or just wait, Doc, because somebody in your family is going to get addicted. I promise. It's going to be a best friend. It's going to be a family member. Somebody you care about is going to get addicted, and they're not going to be junkies anymore. It's going to be somebody with a disease real quick, because you're going to realize that I knew this person. This isn't a bad person, right? This person came from good stock, right? They're good people. What? Yeah, it'll happen. Not soon enough, because I'm sure he's already run off a couple people, but he didn't run off me. All right, everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville. I'm going to see you on the next one. Let's see if we can say goodbye to this one here, can we? What's she doing? You spoiled little animal. Wait a second. That's not what we wanted. That is what we wanted. That is a handsome pussycat, is it not? Huh? What a good kitty. You would think she's in this basket all day, but I promise you, she gets up. She's only here when we're doing the boat. See you on the next one, everybody. Bye-bye.